this is something that you do for everybody, but you treat them with respect. You know, that's, I think, the first thing that I think that you have to create, maybe with somebody who is already taught and is already farther along in career, they have more to lose by submitting themselves to you. You know, they already have an idea kind of how things should be. So it's very important for you to affirm how they are and to honor the fact that they have come to you and submitted themselves to you for advice. And you need to create within the studio environment a feeling of safety, you know, a feeling that they can take risks in there, that they don't have to show you everything that they have done or they are capable of doing, but that it's just sort of, you give them credit and you begin kind of playfully with them and treat them at first with a certain amount of deference, and then you see how willing they are in the course of that to make changes. And sometimes, you know, I might want to ask them to make substantive changes, just in the whole way that they, if they're doing something that I think is basically unhealthy for them, I will tell them. You know, if they're doing what I call in the trade singing a sound rather than singing words, you know, if they're just putting out a sort of generic sound product, I try to get around to that in sometimes very directly, but I have to ascertain whether they're going to be able to receive it or not. And if I see that they're not going to be able to receive it, then I have to kind of go around that way a little bit and see if I can go in another way. And then, you know, usually it establishes itself pretty quickly what they're there for and how willing they are to take what you have to say. And the first few times I never give it the hard sell very much. I try to just say, well, you know, to agree with a lot of to try to reach a consensus rather than to show them that they're on because you can always reach a consensus about some things, the necessity to take a good breath and usually the necessity to pronounce well and singing in tune and not having a wobble, and certain basic things like that are not open to dispute. But then beyond that, if you have the sense that what they're doing or they're coming from a very different direction from you, you have to tread quite carefully there, because you don't want to in any way diss their training or what they are, but you might just suggest, I find myself lots of times suggesting a different way that they could do something, or I'll just say, well, you might want to try introducing this idea in this way, and then I'll usually just give them very simple exercises, just to kind of identify, you know, if I think that their technique, for instance, is really tension-based, that's something that I would want to move right in on, and you just have to see how receptive they are.